It's showtime!
Whoa, a new Tobacco Tim Tammy video on my internet? And it's only been...
Congratulations! 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 Congratulations!
Kill yourself!
many months? Whoa, baby, let's go team. In the past few months, I've played some games, wrote some scripts, and it will still take at least a minimum of 6 months before my next video. Why? I've been busy working, doing college, and hanging out with this dickhead.
Fuck you, little yachty!
But like a strange homeless man that convinced you he's Santa Claus, I'm also putting a gift under your tree you never asked for, and it will probably be shit. John Carpenter is an American director, actor, and composer whose works I was exposed to most likely a little too early in my life, with his most known and celebrated movies falling under the genre of horror, giving us Halloween, The Fog, and the scariest of all, Christine. He's kind of the goat up there with Wes Craven and Sam Raimi. And I'm a pretty big fan. From his cinematography to his score, we all know the one. But this ain't a movie review channel, sucker! I like video games. John Carpenter's The Thing. You saw the name of the video, you saw the thumbnail, let's just get into it. The Thing is a 1982 film by John Carpenter based on the 1938 sci-fi book Who Goes There by John W. Campbell. We're covering The Thing 2002, the video game sequel to The Thing 1982, not to be confused with the prequel sequel, The Thing 2011, that happens before both the game and the 1982 film, despite coming out in 2011 and having the exact same fucking name for the third time in a row. Now, for those of you that haven't seen The Thing, you decide which one of these fucking movies I'm talking about. My friend Miarp here has come to tell you the story.
The Thing, that one, not that one, is a film by John Carpenter released in 1982 about a horrible alien creature impersonating every single person on a research team. It goes a little something like this. There's a dog. The dog is running to the research team. A helicopter tries to kill it. Helicopter fails. The dog goes inside, and guess what? You'll never believe this. That dog explodes into meat. And turns out the dog was a thing the whole time. So now it's like a who did it? Who's the guy? Who's the ne'er-do-well?
What were the overheard words by the Nazi child?
Doing nice things to himself in the bathroom. And so the whole movie is spent in this claustrophobic environment trying to find out who's the thing. They do a test with blood, and if the blood jumps out of the petri dish, they're the thing. Wanna know what else is the thing? Anyways, the movie ends when he gets a flamethrower and kills the damn thing. That's all you really need to know about The Thing, but what about The Thing 2? Now, The Thing 2 is a movie where the thing comes back for revenge. Now, I'm not gonna spoil it because I'm in talks to direct it. Tobacco Tan Tony lives at...
Now back to the videojuego. The Thing 2002 is a third-person survival horror game that came out on the Xbox, PC, and the PlayStation 2. It comes from an era where licensed games were normal, and before the big quality dip of the 360 generation that was saved by Batman. It was developed by Computer Artworks Limited, whose previous game was Evolva. I've never heard of it, but I'm told it's a third-person shooter for PC, and by told I mean I looked it up on Wikipedia. It was published by Black Label Games, later known as Vivendi Games, with the console versions being co-published by Konami. The Thing was on the early half of the horror genre for the PlayStation 2, so it doesn't have the set control scheme that Resident Evil 4 cemented as standard to this day. And I'm not sure if it's due to the pulled back camera or the snow, but it reminds me so much of the Shadow Moses portion in Metal Gear Solid. The playable character also moves more freely than other horror protags, by not having tank controls and being gifted with not one but two strafe buttons, making him the Usain Bolt of horror game protagonists. While exploring the levels, you'll find tape recorders that will act as save points. The points are always in the perfect locations and keep the suspense of resource management as a real threat. The gunplay in The Thing has an auto lock-on shooting system that feels quite snappy and it always goes where you want it to. In moments where you need more precise aim, you can opt into a first-person mode, where you're given a cursor to aim better at the cost of movement. The first-person controls feel quite clunky at first, at least on the console ports of the game, but I was able to easily adjust to them. While the shooting system works, it's much less satisfying than the shooting in other games on the console. The shooting also brings very little horror into this survival horror game, because the game is quite generous with ammo throughout it, resulting in this kind of being the weakest part of the game. Now you're probably asking, if the shooting isn't fun in a game where you mostly shoot, then what makes this game fun? Well, let me tell you, they told us from the beginning.
Rated M for mature. What the? Stay away from me, I'm warning you. You're infected just like the rest. Like it or not, we're in this together. No one survives alone.
Fear consumes you. Only trust can save you, and nobody survives alone. Perfectly describes the best features of this game. In the game, you'll have NPC teammates that you find throughout the levels. They fall under the class of soldier, medics, and engineers. All can help you fight, but medics can heal you and your other teammates, while engineers help by fixing control panels throughout the map, allowing you to explore further. Your teammates will help you get through the levels, but they have a stress bar, which makes them useless depending on the surroundings of the environment you take them in. Their stress may result in panic attacks where they crouch in a fetal position, or even vomiting. You can get around your crewmate's stress by using the more rare resources in the game. If they have low health, this will stress them out, so you will use medkits, assuming you don't have a medic, while adrenaline shots will get past their stress altogether. Lastly, any of them could be infected, so you'll have to use the blood test item to see if they are, get this, oh my god, I don't think you're ready. I know you think you're ready, but I don't think you're ready. They're the Thing. Why is no one laughing? This adds to the drama of the game's atmosphere, which is what kept me playing. Your infected crewmates are some of the stronger enemies in the game, so you'll want to save your trusty flamethrower ammo for them in boss fights. Some changes appear to be scripted, which affects replayability, and there is an oversight where if you use a blood test on a scripted imposter, you'll waste the blood test because it gives a false reading. Other notable mechanics are the cold, where you can only stay outside too long due to the Arctic frigid climate. Though this never gave me much trouble due to the pretty well-designed levels, where you're always teetering, where you're kind of like about to freeze to death, but it's never that big of an issue. So overall, like, as long as you're not stupid, you'll be fine. It's like real cold, just don't be dumb. The social mechanics with the limited resources is really the best part of this game. It builds a suspenseful atmosphere, which is elevating the horror side of it, despite the easy combat and overall survival mechanics. Now, this is a movie game. And what do we watch movies for? Story. So, what's the story of the game? Let's get into it, dog. Now, thanks to our special guest, I know you understand the plot of the movie. But what's the plot of the game? Now, in the most simple terms, you play Captain Blake, this knucklehead right here, who's the leader of Bravo team sent to investigate the research station where the movie took place. After finding the alien ship from the movie, you head to the Norwegian research station and lose contact with Alpha Team. But not that Alpha Team. Well, at the Norwegian Research Center, Blake finds a hidden research station led by, get this, John Carpenter, and figures out what's going on, kinda. Who can you trust? I won't tell. Play the game. But there's a fun cameo for the good boys and girls who beat the game. While the story is good, it definitely comes off as limited, mostly due to the time, budget, and console limitations of the game. But the story is expanded upon through audio logs you find throughout the levels, a la System Shock. All the cutscenes are animated well enough for the time, and all the dialogue is delivered with an endearing fun cant that most good PlayStation games have around this time. Obviously, though, the 20-year-old video game doesn't reach the heights of the critically acclaimed, beloved movie directed by, you know, the guy that brought us... Well, I guess The Thing. He brought us the movie that the game is talking about. Fuck off. But it does make up for all of this lacking story with comically larger stakes. So in summary, in sequel terms, this is Aliens. It may not be better, but it definitely stands on its own with its more exaggerated action approach. Now, you know how the game plays, you know what the game's about. Let's cover, how does the game just vibe, you know? What's the presentation like? What's the little garnish on this 5-star souffle? I don't know if souffle has garnish, eat a dick. From a graphical standpoint, I think this game has aged well enough, and there's some may say it's endearing. I like how it looks, you know? The people are blocky, it's fun. I'm nostalgic for this type of game. The environments actually have a lot of personality with impressive lighting for the time. And it all feels pretty lived in despite, you know, everything having a 90-degree angle. Again, lighting's really impressive. It never really reaches the peak that's shown in the commercials or the trailer, but like that's to be expected, fake game. And the sound design is actually pretty impressive. It gives off an eeriness. The soundtrack itself is forgettable. I don't remember one thing about it. But the crunch of the snow under your boots, all the noises the monsters make, they're all pretty memorable. And I will say, it got me through the game. It was immersive, despite looking like, you know, everyone is made out of Play-Doh and soup cans. The Thing makes the most out of what it was given, and I respect it for that. You know, it's gritty, it's hungry, it wants your attention. Now, on to my final thoughts, the end of this shitty essay that I've written. The Thing 2002 was a blast to play through. I can say I played a lot of horror games in my time, but none of them have focused on the areas that The Thing focuses on with these social aspects of who can you trust despite needing them to survive. It really captures the spirit of the movie in that way, and I think it makes it a really good sequel to the movie, and it makes it a pretty good game, like in all honesty. I hope more people go back and look at this game, because it's a hidden gem. I think it deserves a second look, and I think other games should really take the mechanics that it went with and run. Like, imagine a Dead Space type game with that type of thing, like who's a necromorph. I think it could be really cool. So, for anyone who's a fan of obscure horror games, you have my uttermost recommendation here. Give it a try. It's fucking amazing, you know? Like, it's a good game. Yeah. That's the end of the video. Thank you for my friends who helped me out, and give it a like, a share, and a subscribble, you know? A subscribble. I'm out. See you in 6 months to a year, bitch.